No, it's not.
10. It's
Oh,
7.
I just realized. I was like, I'm forgetting something. I should probably see if I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting my raw YouTuber. I'll get that up and running. All right. Why is okay? There we go. For some reason, my thing was locked up. But no, here we go.
Oh
All right,
my
I'm back.
God. There's
Scuff.
a stream and Celtic isn't on screen.
It's horrible.
All right, just give me a moment. No one, everyone, like, only panic if you really feel like it. All right, only if you really feel like panic.
What would a Celtic
Everyone
Phoenix
start
YouTuber model
panicking.
look like?
Ah! Oh God! Oh God!
You know?
What would
There's a thing on my head and I can't get it off.
6 out of 10. Good job.
It's Black Tuesdays. Everyone's pulling their Patreon subscriptions out.
Doing the
There we go.
I'm gonna try to do something funny. I'm gonna try to
Hi,
watch the stream.
HG Phi is immediately in. You're like, and now for your weekly reminder of why you hate Canada.
What's the?
Alright.
What does that mean, Celtic?
Look-
Do you hate Canada for some reason?
Yeah, look, no,
Is
no,
there-
I don't.
He
I'm not.
better
I
not.
look. There are many things you can lay at the feet of Canada. I don't think Lily Orchard is like. I mean, look, we have like Chris Chan down here in the States. All right, where
We have
everyone's got
Florida
crazies
here in the States.
everyone's
Yeah,
got
no.
crazies.
You have Chris Chan and you have Cyrax.
Don't remind us, please.
Okay, but counterpoint.
happened to him.
Counterpoint. You have Lily Orchard and you have Mycan.
Yeah, but
God.
my kid hasn't really been, active in a while. He's just been kind of keeping to himself.
Well, that's because part of being Mycan is he
Nah, he's-
intentionally doesn't have any friends.
He's lying in wait. He's making his.
Oh my
house
God.
out.
Well, yeah,
makes me
but
wonder-
like, he's also hasn't been doing anything all that cringe lately.
That does not erase his sins.
That makes me
No, it
want to
doesn't.
open my can of beer.
Oh my God.
Let us not open that my can of worms, and let's focus on Lily Orchard. All right.
No,
my
no,
God.
I'm gonna make you reread Cyborg Davis.
No.
That's the
Reading
biggest
Lily
threat
Orchard.
I've heard.
Oh, don't remind me. Oh.
You might as well just say, hey, here's a gun.
What the hell is Cyborg Davis?
No, it's more like, hey, here's poison.
Yeah, no,
You
here-
don't want to know.
yeah.
Hey,
Here,
okay.
hey, here's an emergency lead injection. I hope you enjoy it.
All right. Anyways, enjoy this picture I just sent.
That's cute.
Man,
There's
watching
a movie
stuff
world
in VR,
in VR chat that I'm in right now, and I'm watching the stream through it.
That is
Damn.
so
Let's
much
never
fun.
do the
Glorious.
intro, you guys. Let's just jump into
All
it.
right. Well, no. Let's no. We got to do the intro because some of you need to
Oh,
remind
you
the
fucking-
alignment of the rules.
To be honest.
Because, hello everyone, welcome back to Bad Fanfiction Night. I am your host, Raymond McNeil. Joining me, as always, is the wonderful Twilight Guardian.
Hello.
Tonight, we are continuing our dive into the Sith Resurgence. We are coming near the end. I actually did look into it, and we're looking at about 2 more chapters after this one. So, in total, 3 more chapters of this, of which this one has to
Freedom.
be split in 2, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And during those 3
Oh.
chapters, dear viewers,
I
you can donate $1 or more to Celtic Phoenix's Patreon to gain access to the Tundra Discord server.
Yes, you can, and you can get in here and join in on the
That was too
shenanigans.
long-winded. I'll work on a shorter one next time.
I don't even know how, like, trust me, I've been trying to, like, whittle that down for ages. You're just going to drive yourself mad.
Patreon, donate now.
Patreon. Donate. Damn it. You beat me to it.
$1 to the top.
That's me alive, baby.
This is what I get for playing
Space
Tekken
Force.
right now.
Okay. Now, as a reminder that I and Twilight, as the main readers and the people hosting this, we are the priority speakers. So when we're speaking, we expect you guys to quiet on down. We like your comments, quips, jibes, and little bits of conversation, but it can't override what we're trying to do, which is read bad fanfiction. If you start to devolve into basically a random conversation that starts to get out of control, stop yourself. We don't like it going any longer than like 10, 20 seconds maximum. All right? We all on the same
I'm fully
page
aware.
here? And if
I'm
we
fully aware.
tell you to shut up, you better damned well shut up, or else we will make you shut up because I have admin power.
I mean, of course
And I
we're gonna
have
shut
muting
up.
power.
Yeah,
Yes.
Twilight scares me.
Twilight's really the scarier
You
one.
should be.
Have Sith resurged yet? No, that's I'm told that's chapter 14, which we're not going to be getting to in this batch apparently.
Fuck right off.
Palpatine dying. He's like, no, this was supposed to be the Sith's resurgence.
Frickin' Ariana, or is it Aliana? Shit,
Aliana.
Aliana out here's like, I'm about to research.
Guess you could say that really was the Sith resurgence.
Oh my god.
All right.
It's really messing with you that we're reading this along with Unicorns of Balinor.
Well, okay.
You
So
need to,
there's an extra layer to this that I completely forgot about. So you've got Unicorns of Balinor, Ariana. We've got Aliana here in Sith Resurgence. I've got a one of the students that I coach named Ariana, and on top of that, you have Ariane from fucking Signalis, which I was just finished playing. So I've been like chatting out. I'm like, oh god, I can't remember. There's like several of them have different numbers of N's in their names.
I heard Signalis.
Hey, cards on the table. Ariane is best girl. Fight me.
Yes, she is.
Oh, she might have
deserves
brainwashed
better.
her girlfriend into loving her. So, I mean. Anyway, let's get in with this, shall we? Everyone, sit back, relax, have a nice, delicious beverage of your choosing, and enjoy.
as always.
Chapter, I think, 10 or 11.
counting?
Misdirections and cover stories. Well, if we were on AO3, we'd know, but we're not there. We're on a download.
Let me find my tab.
14/4/2022 update to better convey Aliana's internal monologue and correct some dialogue choices.
We're in chapter 10.
Chapter 10. Okay. The energy in the resistance base was one of elation and wonder. I should probably catch up. Last time, Aliana being merely present basically solved so many problems, though it did end up still killing Han Solo. Although, we'll see how that plays out. So Han's still dead, but she did literally stop the death laser from firing by holding it back through just the Force. Aliana is overwhelmingly powerful. She could quite literally end several conflicts with the blink of an eye at this point.
The Epic Games didn't really need a patch fixer.
Yeah, she needs to be nerfed. Hard nerfed.
Anyway, Fortnite joke.
She's not gonna nerf her though, because she likes characters to be boring Mary Sues.
Yeah.
So guys, no one grieve for Han Solo. He's in a better place. He's not in this fic anymore.
That's true. He actually he got out of this fic.
He's the Red Hulk now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't he like the one character she didn't like really mess with?
Yeah, she didn't fuck him
That
up.
and Finn.
That
Finn and Poe have been surprisingly okay.
Yeah.
Golf clap in that
All right.
house.
Well, let's carry on here. The energy in the resistance base was one of elation and wonder, simultaneously celebrating the destruction of Starkiller Base and wondering how they'd pull off such a clutch victory. The base's weapon had actually fired, but the plasma weapon had gotten stuck somewhere in the atmosphere of the planet. Nobody could see how it had gotten stuck, or how they'd been bought the few extra seconds they needed to blow the oscillator. It was like a miracle. Rey stepped down off the Falcon, with Aliana limping behind her, still exhausted from having pulled off said miracle. Behind both of them, Chewie was carrying the unconscious body of Finn. A medical team rushed out to meet them, taking Finn onto a stretcher while the two medics looked over both Rey and Aliana. What?
Small question, actually. Just update. Did she close the oscillators, or did she actually block the laser from firing?
She literally, through just the
laser.
Force itself, stopped the laser from moving, like holding back water with a dam.
I see. I completely understand that. Better thing to talk about. Lightning's meme, because holy fuck.
Oh my god.
Lightning, you legend! Ah!
Oh my god.
What did he do?
Fastest meme around the
Veterex,
West.
I have the power of God and admin on my side. Lord Amarosa, there's a mild plasma burns all over your face, one of the medics said. Are you alright? Uh-huh, Aliana nodded.
Mild plasma.
Barely paid attention as she waved the medic off. In truth, she was simply too tired to focus on the medics. Every step she took felt like an ordeal. She'd She'd had a nap on the Falcon, but nothing short of a full night's sleep and several hours of meditation would truly revitalize her. And maybe medical attention? Like actual medical attention? You are burned?
I'm imagining in my head the medics are all the Team Fortress 2 medics.
Oh yeah, that's better. That's better.
You're too good for this.
No, because then there's a chance that someone rips Aliana's heart out.
The scene is progress, my friend.
Ribs grow back.
Lord Amoroso, they have mild plasma burns all over your face. Anyway. She had a nap on the Falcon. She glanced over at Rey, who for the most part kept her distance since their talk aboard the Falcon. Not surprising. Rey said as much in that very discussion. Still, the reminder that she'd broken Rey's trust the way she had only made Aliana feel worse. Good. On top of her injuries and fatigue was the ever-present sinking feeling of guilt, something that would take the longest to heal. The reality that Rey had all but put a gun to her head to get her to confess her feelings wasn't lost on her. She nearly left them to the mercy of the enraged and vengeful hungry First Order to win a battle of wills. She was shaken by that, especially with how helpless she had been in the Falcon. She didn't know ships, she didn't know machines and engines, and Rey knew that.
She didn't know relationships.
Rey's just like, yes, I will sabotage my own ride home in order just to spite my thumb at thee.
Hey,
Which,
that's a baller hater move, I'm not gonna lie.
Considering that Rey turned around in the span of like a couple of days and was willing to shoot a man in cold blood, yeah, actually, no, I would genuinely be terrified of this circumstance.
She's ride or die in the very literal sense, where we either ride or we die.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She couldn't help but wonder, especially as she touched the singed ends of her hair from the blaster bolt that missed her by centimeters. Would Rey have killed her? God, I don't
wish.
Don't
tempt.
Don't
tempt
give me.
Don't tempt us.
Don't give me such a beautiful image in my mind. Please.
I can see it now. A blaster bolt through her head, and everyone clapped. And Rey is hailed as a true hero.
Just some Babu Frick comes along and he just rides a tech deck through the hole.
I'm imagining the congratulations scene from the end of Evangelion, just like every single character in Star Wars clapping for Rey shooting Eliana.
Yes.
You just see Anakin clapping.
It was from Neon Genesis.
Okay. So, she had never kept her Sith heritage a secret before. She had always identified herself as Darth Amorosa to everyone, and she was always met with hostility, suspicion, or worse, except for all the times that she clearly wasn't. It took a lot to earn someone's trust, and it usually only came from people in such poor circumstances that a Sith sulking around wasn't a real problem to them. But she kept it a secret from Rey, and had been met with friendliness, enthusiasm, and even affection. Then once Rey found out, and it was back to hostility, and now she had to earn her trust. And there was no assurance that she would ever get it. I love that Aliana discovers, maybe if I don't ascribe to being a cultist of, like, the dark gods, and I don't go around murdering people, people will like me.
Local corn
maybe
worshiper
I shouldn't
realize.
be a space devil worshiper, you know?
Local
Maybe
corn
I
worshiper.
shouldn't call the Sith a cult.
Or maybe you could just try rebranding. Call yourself a
Suff.
a
Suffy Baka. I know nothing.
Forget the tweens.
a Dark Knight or
I feel so bad for you. I know nothing. You've been trying to get this
A
joke out.
watchful protector.
Yeah, don't worry
Dork
about it.
Knight.
It was. I
We'll
was just
get it
gonna
one
say,
day.
Local
Guys.
local corn cultist
Right.
finally realizes that blood, guts, and skulls for the skull throne isn't the best public image.
Took him
You
long
see,
enough.
everyone, was it that hard to not talk over him? Anyway, let's see. Where was I? Her moment of melancholy was interrupted when a certain pilot stepped into their wing of the medbay. Hey there, Poe nodded with a smile. You look terrible. My ship better look better than I do, Aliana retorted, managing a playful smirk. Just a few scorch marks from other ships on the hull. No scratches, Poe assured her. Great, Aliana smiled before she remembered a remark Poe had made on the holocom during the assault. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not mean to your droid. Don't be mean to mine. You're a complete bitch to your droid.
Which let me
You
remind
are.
the
Yeah, he's
audience-
my bitch boy.
It's sibling logic.
Okay, fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, even though-
Don't mention siblings in Little
Oh,
Orchard.
fuck,
Oh,
yeah,
shit,
no,
yeah, I
sorry, we
forgot.
forgot that has a
That's
different
my
measure
bad.
with Lily.
That's my bad. I'm sorry,
Fucking-
y'all.
Yeah.
I'm
All
just
right.
wanna
Know?
myself.
No, you don't
Don't.
want to know.
Okay, I will not.
Up to you.
Poe chuckled softly. Hey now, I didn't mean anything mean-spirited towards 2V. I'm just saying, I never had a problem with BB-8 pointing out the obvious at inappropriate times. Or inopportune times. Did BB-8 nurse you back to health after falling out of the sky in a raging fireball? Aliana asked. Okay, fair point, Poe conceded. Thanks. Just because protocol droids don't beep doesn't mean they don't have the same feelings as astromech droids. That seems weirdly backwards. It's like something that a creature that can express, or I guess an object that can directly express feelings, emotions, and thoughts would have, I think, more personality than something that typically beeps and boops.
Yeah, they had to go out of their way to be creative with how BB-8 showed emotion with the little lighter
Little
that
thumb
turned
lighter,
Yeah.
yeah.
Aliana laid a
Hey, the
hand
thing
on Poe's
about it-
shoulder and then winced. Every muscle in her body was so unbearably sore that even moving felt like an ordeal. Sorry. What happened
didn't
to you
have to
down
say it
there?
like that.
Poe asked, looking at her with concern. I'm sorry, it's just her mood is always on. She's always set to that. We know that.
I mean, it's Oscar Isaac. What do you expect?
That's fair too.
That's fair.
Now that is the best argument.
That is the best argument.
Overextended myself, keeping that plasma weapon from leaving the atmosphere, Aliana hissed, rubbing her shoulder. See, Aliana, that's the kind of shit you keep on the down low, all right? If you have the power of a god, unless you are actively using it to take conquest of the world, do not let people know you have that in your back pocket, unless you are absolutely sure they have 100% got your back in every circumstance, all right?
Sith would brag about their feats, though.
I don't know. She's
Yeah.
a shit Sith.
Exactly.
Yes.
That was you? How did you do that? Poe asked incredulously, so loud that it grabbed the attention of everyone in the room. Literally no one here has seen anything like that.
Hey, so,
Aliana, what?
I just wonder. So what do they think happened then? Because they would have all seen.
Oh,
like,
it's mentioned. No one
something
knows what the fuck happened. Everyone's like, what the fuck?
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
My bad.
Aliana glanced at Rey, who had her back turned to her and smiled. The dark side of the Force can do incredible things if you're not afraid of it. And if you're not afraid of yourself. Duly noted, Poe said, a grin plastered on his face. With you on our side, maybe we won't need Skywalker after all. Let's not get carried away here, Aliana said, narrowing her eyes at Poe. I can't exactly do that on command, especially not if I'm going to be doing all the heavy lifting you're suggesting. God, why is every single line out of her an innuendo?
I don't know. And also, just throwing this out there, Starkiller Base takes and absorbs stars to fire out. You can quite literally hold back the energy of a star. You blink and a planet is smithereens. So fuck off, bitch.
Yeah, if you can even do a fraction of what you did there, you could literally destroy an entire planet in minutes.
Minutes?
I have expected
minutes.
She can't do it on command.
I have expected her to.
When she intensely thinks about Rey and gets her feelies activated.
She has to resurge by
quick.
thinking of Rey.
Feeling
Can I
no
say
jutsu. It's crazy.
I have expected her to say the dark side is a path to many things, some which would be unmatched. Yeah, I've expected her to say the thing.
Yeah, no.
Okay, guys.
All right.
She should.
Yeah.
Guys, talking a bit too much.
I know. Just kidding. Poe assured her. I'm not gonna look a gift Sith in the mouth like that. That is awkward as fuck to say. Also, you are not just kidding, dude. I would totally be like, yeah, can you do that again like a billion times? What's your cooldown on that? Aliana smiled. Poe's respect, admiration, and friendliness cut to her fear and doubt like a knife. Poe knew she was a Sith from the word go, and had welcomed her into the Resistance with open arms, had made a case for her aid, and never once doubted that she was genuine. She was a lightsaber on their side, and he appreciated that. She squeezed his shoulder and smiled. Look after Finn, would you? He took a lightsaber to the back. He's stable, but I feel better if someone kept an eye on him. I'm glad that, like, there's no weird romantic connotations to everything you just described Poe with. That's... Because, like, you make him sound really fucking reliable.
He can't do that of himself because he has to get the main character to tell him what to do because he has no agency.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. Poe nodded. Don't worry, he's in good hands. I'll make sure he's all right, he said before glancing down at the spherical droid rolling over to his feet. That goes double for you, right, buddy? BB-8 beeped enthusiastically. Aliana smiled at both of them and nodded in gratitude. I meant to ask, how's everyone working out with the map? How's everyone working out with the map?
You gotta get the reps in.
I was gonna say just like man bench pressing a fucking rolled up pirate map.
Oh god, if only.
Well, we're still haven't found where the other pieces go, but we're working on that, Poe stated. Even after the success of our attack, it seems that Leia is more dead set on finding Skywalker than ever. Aliana winced as she glanced back towards the base's main control room. She was going to have to tell Leia about what happened to Han, assuming Rey or Chewie hadn't already done it. She felt it should better be Rey or Chewie. It should be Chewie, motherfucker. It should be Chewie. Why are we even debating this? She felt a twinge of guilt in her chest at how she'd failed to intervene at the time. She'd actually started to like Han, especially after he'd reassured her about both Rey and her mother. The thought of having to talk to the general, who she'd already figured out didn't trust her as it is, and tell her she'd failed to keep everyone safe was a daunting prospect. Well, considering that was her husband, yeah, I would imagine it's going to be a very awkward conversation.
I'm sorry, I was thinking Greedos himself in the shadows. I'm sorry, Leia.
Greedo?
Fuck it.
I just kind of wish that we'd have a Sith protagonist who was genuinely like vain and braggy about their feats. You know, just feels like.
It'd be great if he just walks in and is just like, "Yeah, by the way, I killed Han." It's a complete and utter fucking lie. She just wants the credit.
It was me.
No, it was like, I'm sorry, General. His last words were, "Don't put me in the 9th movie."
Actual Harrison Ford last words.
Oh. All right, one moment.
I originally wanted to do Anakin's Force Ghost instead of Han's.
Anyways, guys.
Yeah. Poe looked at Aliana, noticing the rather grim expression she was wearing all of a sudden, and placed a hand on her shoulder. Hey, you all right? Aliana snapped back to attention and nodded. Oh, yeah, I'm fine, she said. Just, really tired. Poe smiled at that. I believe that. You better get some rest, he advised. Don't worry, we can be without our dark savior for a few hours. Sounding like a real cultist there, Poe. Poe, stop doing that, please. Don't call me a savior. I have enough pressure on me as it is, Aliana winced. Don't defy the Force or the people who use it. It never ends well. It's not really deify.
Deifying.
Don't, I was like, what? Did you spell that wrong? Don't deify the Force or the people who use it. It never ends well. Oh, I'm sorry, lady. You happen to have performed a literally impossible feat. You stopped a sun.
Also, learn to take a compliment, for Christ's sake.
Also, yes, the Force is a religion. Poe shrugged. Well, okay. I can stop that, but I can't promise the rest of the base will do the same, he said plainly. Just get on the last one. Update the crew. If all personnel could please stop referring to Aliana, aka Darth Amorosa, as our dark savior, it would be very much appreciated. She is being very annoyed, and she also fears the cosmic karmic retribution of the intergalactic energy force that she ends up wielding to stop stars. So if everyone could please just do that, we'd be very appreciated. Thank you. Also, update, bingo night been moved to Wednesday. Tuesday night has been taken by karaoke.
Sounded like a fan. Sounded like a
Jesus.
Family
Who
Guy gag.
screamed in the middle of my comedic bit?
Spider.
Yeah, don't fucking scream.
Holy crap.
I was just so excited.
I was trying to contribute to the joke, but I may have screamed a
It
little too
wasn't
loud.
funny.
That was horrifying.
Wasn't funny, didn't laugh.
That sounded like you fell out of the building.
Yeah, he was so excited for bingo night, he fell off.
That's better now.
All right.
Moving on.
Yes.
He didn't fall off the push.
He said plainly, whether you admit it or not, you saved an entire system from being destroyed, literally with your bare hands and an unseeable cosmic force. I've seen others get deified for less. Franklin over there, he's called the cock-throbber. You don't want to know why.
Jesus.
Why? Oh, he's the one that draws cocks on everyone's fucking spaceships.
Oh, it's him!
Yeah, bringing that back, baby.
Finally!
Let's go!
We know the lore.
You're going to have to change a lot of people's perspectives on things if you want to stop it completely. Poe, you blew the base. Not me.
Oh my god.
Look,
real
I know everyone ships him and Finn, but look, I they're very new at this, and I don't know if he could get down to the base quite yet. All right,
Look, Raymond. He might have blown the base, but was the base satisfied? It's
Getting
very
to the base, man. It's a very secret force technique right there. Only the dark side tells it.
So I want everyone in this chat and everyone on YouTube to know I complained at Celtic while being one of those zestier motherfuckers in this chat.
Yes, no, we all know that. Oh, all right. Poe, you blew the base, not me. Eliana said. I had to get through that without an accent or anything. I couldn't. I can't. All I did was buy you a few more seconds.
You okay?
I don't know if he's gonna recover from this.
Sorry.
I think Celtic's base blew up.
Twilight, I think you might have to take over for a second.
Oh no, I
might
can do
have
this.
to.
I can do this. She let go of him and turned away. She liked Poe, but the idea that the Resistance would see her as some kind of savior didn't sit well with her, and Poe certainly wasn't helping matters. She headed into the base after Rey, where Leia was staring at the sole recovered piece of the map from BB-8. As she glanced up at the map, she cocked an eyebrow as some of the stars looked vaguely familiar. "How's the hunt going?" she asked, looking up at how's the... Shit, who am I talking... Sorry. Yeah, how's the hunt going? Who is it? Who is talking? I guess it's...
Aliana.
Okay. "How's the hunt going?" she asked, looking up at Rey as she approached the holo terminal. Neither woman seemed very keen on responding to Aliana right away. "Still trying to piece together which system this map falls under," Leia said finally. "Considering it's like somewhere in the Outer Rim, it thankfully only gives us a couple of thousand to choose from. Don't you have an astrogation chart to compare the composition of the stars with?" Aliana asked. Still trying to make out what the star chart was what about the star chart was familiar? Why is this melting my brain? Okay.
You're still recovering.
He's still, yeah.
Recovering
Dead
from
Rex,
having her base blown up.
Rex? Okay, I'm fine.
Is that something we can show?
What? Is there more to that? I feel like that's cut off.
I do appreciate, by the way, that in the stream it looks like Celtic's bird is saying "I'm fine."
Oh my.
No one posts
Screen cap it. Someone screen cap it.
Let me
go.
I've become Apollo Justice. I'm fine. Anyway.
Justice and I'm fine.
Unfortunately, much of the Outer Rim is uncharted by... Oh, sorry. Unfortunately, much of the Outer Rim isn't charted by the Republic fleet. Whatever. C-3PO piped up as he operated the holoterminal. Much of the Republic only carries records within Republic space. The Outer Rim is probably the best place in the galaxy to hide because the Republic doesn't keep records of that area of space, Ray explained. We're flying blind. Without the rest of the map, it's almost completely hopeless. Ignore how I know any of this information by the fact that I stayed in the Outer Rim and would not be, familiar with any of this.
Shush, you guys.
What did Luke say he was looking for? Aliana asked. Leia's brow furrowed in confusion. Looking for? What was his goal on this planet? Aliana elaborated. What was he hoping to find there? Leia shook her head solemnly. We don't know. Luke left no messages or clues for us before he disappeared. Finding this map was the closest thing to a direct message we received from him in years. If he did go to wherever he is for a reason, he never told any of us.
He ghosted the New Republic Discord chat.
Aliana stared at the planet where the map ended. There had been some way to narrow down the list of prospective candidates down. Wait, there had to be some way to narrow the list of prospective candidates down. Okay. Where would a Jedi go to something hit her? C-3PO, okay. Can you download the astrogation charts from the Fury and the Falcon into the base's mainframe? She asked. Most certainly, Lord Omarosa, 3PO replied enthusiastically. Though, if I could inquire what for? I just need the information in front of me to work with, Aliana explained. It'll make sense, I promise. I'm the main protagonist. I get to solve the problem.
Of course she does.
Oh, in that case, I shall do so at once, 3PO said with a nod before waddling over to a terminal at the wall. Rey walked over from where she leaned against the holoterminal over to Aliana. What are you thinking? Rey inquired, standing a little further from Aliana than she ordinarily would. I have a hunch, based on a historical precedent, Aliana said as the terminal noted that the download was complete. Now bring up the Fury's entire list of planets that are strong in the Force and filter only those locations in the Outer Rim. 3PO hit a few more buttons.
So, first thing, that. Second thing, hey 3PO, can you connect this outside source directly into the source mainframe? This totally isn't a cybersecurity leak that could destroy your entire operation, by the way. Trust me, bro.
I was gonna say, can someone lower the fucking firewalls on either end? You guys are gonna fuck up your computers.
100%.
Look, she said trust the process, all right?
Yeah, the computer heard her.
Yeah, it's just connect
They got NordVPN, they'll be fine.
Ship.
Don't worry, she has to plug in an HDMI port. That's fine.
Who's recording Planet for being strong in the Force? I have to wonder.
It's vibes based.
Would you believe magic? That's all you're getting.
Sense of disturbance in the vibes.
Anyway, 3PO hit a few more buttons, and a total of 30 planets were displayed on the holoterminal, much to the astonishment of the crowd around the holoterminal. Did you know there was a crowd around the holoterminal? Anyway, when Jedi and Sith want to hide, they go to planets that are strong in the Force, Aliana explained as she walked around the terminal, completely ignoring how that made absolutely zero fucking sense if this was charted. It masks their presence from being detected by other Force users, but they can hide most effectively on a planet that is attuned inversely from themselves. Yoda was hidden on Dagobah during the Empire's reign because it was strong on the dark side.
No,
Not that anyone actually fucking knew that other than fucking Luke Skywalker anyway. That made it almost impossible for Vader to find him. Okay, wait. Someone who's knowledgeable in the lore, is any of that accurate?
No.
There's no mention ever of anything around Yoda and knowing where he is.
Actually,
to give a sort of lore thing.
I got knowledge.
Okay.
All right, Dread, be concise.
You know that cave Luke went into? You know that cave Luke went into to fight that weird. Yeah, that was a dark side nexus, and so Dagobah was strong on the dark side, but Yoda was also really strong enough on the light side they was able to resist it.
I also, if I might offer, Vader still had to manually find out about where Jedi and the like were, hiding out.
Yeah.
Like, there's never a point where they said, we'll just find them through the Force.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing.
Let I know nothing say something.
The closest thing that I was going to get to with the like sensing thing is the simple fact that it took Vader or someone intimately familiar with like Obi-Wan's Force presence and power. They had to be effectively in the same room for him to sense him in A New Hope, which is quote unquote canon at this point. So so hiding Force signatures on everything else like that, there's legitimately no point. Just go to a different building and you'll be fine.
I love the idea that we're at the point where it's questionable whether or not the original trilogy is canon. Anyway,
Force moves in mysterious ways.
Guys, we're continuing.
If you guys don't behave, I am going to mute you and whip you after stream.
Oh shit!
I've given her permission to do so, guys. Be careful.
Hey, yo.
There was a collective murmur around the Resistance as this information sunk in. Aliana smiled and looked at 3PO. 3PO. Why did I say almost 3PO? Aliana smiled and looked at 3PO again. Now filter out the planets that are attuned to the light side of the Force. 3PO obliged with Aliana's request. As he pressed a button, several planets had flicked out from the site of the holo terminal. The remaining planets include Malachor, Korriban, and Dormund Kaas. The remaining planets include Malachor, Korriban, and Dormund Kaas, Lord Omarosa, 3PO relayed. There are several more, but my databanks are unfamiliar with these planets. Yeah. Okay, so this is the swap out point, but I want to highlight here. Also, none of this matters because Luke cut himself off from the Force. Oh my God, lightning.
Oh my, really? Oh my God! Did you actually watch the movie all the way through?
Wow. Okay.
I cannot believe I'm actually preferring the actual movie.
Yes.
Oh my fuck! No.
I think we sailed from that point like 5 chapters ago.
I just have to say it now.
Oh my God!
Look at him in the eyes, Raymond. That is what you look like. The sunken face, the destroyed feathers. This is what Lily Orchard has done to you.
True.
We are
100% true. Okay. So
broken men.
You're picking up at Aliana looked at the unmarked planets. I'm going to save this fan.
Okay. Aliana looked at the unmarked planets. She recognized Odessan and knew for a fact that Skywalker couldn't be there. Because Malachor was a husk of a planet with barely any atmosphere. Unless Skywalker was planning on committing the world's most painful suicide, he likely wasn't there either. Korriban could have been swarmed by First Order instantly, and she had been to Dormund Kaas for only a few months ago and not sensed anyone on the planet or in the ruins of Kaas City. She marked each one that she could safely rule out and was left with 8 planets. That's the best I can do, Aliana shook her head. If Skywalker is anywhere, he's on one of these planets.
Is this how she's going to fucking pad out the next 2 chapters before they get to Luke?
Maybe.
It's like, oh, we're going to have to go search for him, so now we have to spend time together on our ships and do cute slice of life things together.
I'm sorry, did you say 2?
Yeah. So Luke doesn't show up for another 2 chapters after this one.
What, Lightning?
Remember when we were gonna end with Luke showing up, and that's the end of reading this fic? Well, here's another author who's gonna nickel and dime you through 2 more chapters.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Also, do you guys remember that BB-8 is a thing? You know, the robot with the map to Luke Skywalker?
Oh my fucking God!
Oh my God! I forgot. Honestly, I forgot about him too.
Well,
so
yeah, I was gonna say, like, why aren't they? He's like, BB-8's here, and so is R2D2, who has the other half of the map.
Not other half. He has the entire rest of the map.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, he has the missing piece. I don't know why they aren't. Like, are we just gonna like? I'm waiting now for the rug to be pulled out from under us, where BB-8 goes to wake up R2D2, and it's just like, oh no, we actually know exactly where he is now. It's like, oh, Fuck, why did we do all that work then?
Thanks,
You made
man.
us waste 2 whole chapters when we could have just a droid.
He didn't want to be in the same scene as Aliana.
Oh my.
You know what?
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
We have to give. Exactly. We gotta give it to the freaking
Leia.
main character.
Leia eyed the star map carefully before turning her gaze over to Aliana. That does narrow it down more than a little bit, Leia responded. We'll have our people cross-reference this data with the map. With any luck, we'll have our destination by the end of the week. The crowd around the holo terminal erupted in many cheers. Aliana received several hurrahs and a few pats on the back from the especially bold. A wave of Leia's hand brought the cheering down to a reasonable level. In the meantime, we can't afford to get lazy. The First Order just made an attempt to destroy the Republic. We can only assume their response to our counterstrike will be just as ruthless. I want recon teams scouting First Order space and report any activity they see. 3PO, reach out to our contacts in Coruscant. If we see if recent events have given us any support. Everyone else, to your posts.
I don't blame you because I know you're not a big Star Wars fan. It is pronounced Coruscant, but now I kind of want to pronounce it incorrectly as we go along and just like get for like croissant. it's
We have to understand, 1 trillion people live on that planet, but they're all fed thanks to the power of the croissant.
That's right. It's a world where croissants rain from the sky on the regular, and that's why it is so populous.
I could hear somebody laugh at that, and I knew that I pronounced it wrong, but like
It's
I was
okay,
like,
it's
whatever.
okay.
I was cool with it.
Ray turned away from the holo terminal and out of the base. Aliana followed after her, not really knowing what else to do, as Leia hadn't actually given either of them a post. She followed Ray out of the fighter bay and watched as she stood staring at the Falcon. She'd been distant since they landed, and not just in the way that she'd been after reuniting either. Everything on Starkiller Base was still eating up at her. She could feel it. Thank you for telling us instead of showing us, Lily. I appreciate that so much.
Well, don't you know this is good writing?
Yeah.
I feel
telling
okay. So
telling instead of showing is the best
10.
writing.
Yeah, exactly. Now we know exactly what's happening in the story. We don't need to interpret.
I mean, it's called storytelling.
I kind of hate that you actually do kind of have us there.
I hate that I chuckled at that.
I did not expect that.
I was gonna say that is like one of the smoothest actual backhands I have ever gotten, and that was completely unintentionally like hilariously funny. Okay, I'll have to keep that in my back pocket at some point in the future. That's a great line.
I give it to you with all my love.
See you in the next Team Jack stream.
Oh, we have a super chat. Roxana Nava says Lily makes Ashoka's writing masterpiece. Oh,
ouch!
Did this man say Ashoka?
Oh my god!
Yes, I did because I have no respect for her as a character. Anyway,
oh, how dare you!
With a wince and a reminder of just how sore and tired she was, Aliana cleared her throat to alert Ray to her presence as she approached. You all right? She asked quietly, standing several feet away from her. I'm fine, Ray said plainly, not turning to look at Aliana and instead keeping her gaze on the Falcon. Aliana's eyes alternated between the two before sighing heavily. I'm gonna miss that old pirate, she said wistfully. You could have saved him, Ray said. That's true. Ray, I tried to.
Yeah,
Aliana
really
replied, not sure what the other woman was going, where the other woman was going with this. You could stop a hyper lightspeed planet-killing superweapon with your bare hands, but you can't save one man. I'm not a god, Ray, Aliana snapped. Besides, he's a man. I'm a misandrist.
But like, I can't believe. Oh, you're addressing it, and the only response is, "I'm not a god." I'm sorry. We're talking a beam several thousand miles in diameter that you managed to stop.
Powered
by the sun.
Powered by several stars, by the way.
You were the unstoppable force to the immovable object.
Okay, at the very least, Aliana, if you could not stop him from getting stabbed, which you could have, but you didn't, you could have at the very least caught him before he fell all the way down and gotten him medical attention. That would have been better than nothing.
Are you a god?
I mean, you could definitely.
I have
kill
so
Trevor
many
several times
words
before
about this, but I'll save them for after stream.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll
just
you go, it's fine.
like sit and stare as this whole thing went down.
Yeah,
What
she
was
did, and then like
yeah.
she dropped down when they got within spitting distance of each other.
You know the Windows startup sound, like that burp, like the dial tone. That's what was happening in her head.
No, it's like Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Mantis, look out!
Don't like Celtic read any
Every time
Indian
she
name in
brings
his
up
life
the
ever
gun.
again.
What?
Every time she brings up the
Oh,
gun
is it
thing.
because Ahsoka's name is Indian? Is Ahsoka's name Indian in origin?
I have absolutely no idea.
There's
like-
an Indian named Ashoka, the Indian name Ashoka, like Ashoka the Terrible.
Maybe
So, yeah.
I don't know, but like I pronounced Ahsoka's name incorrectly because I don't care. That's if it was someone's actual name, I would have been a little more tactful and probably like.
Ahsoka is the name of a
discussed it.
country in Ireland, I think.
I mean, to be fair, have you tried pronouncing half of the names in the Mahabharata?
I've tried pronouncing the Mahabharata, and it's really taken me a while to get it right.
Oh, the name is Sanskrit in origin.
I have actually, and let's not talk about what came out.
I had to ask my Indian roommate how to pronounce a lot of the names because I was not sure.
I was confidently not sure, but I have an excuse.
Yeah, Star Wars names are kind of.
It's
Now I want a Bollywood version of Star Wars.
Kaiser, that gif is beautiful. There's
God.
nowhere to run, and immediately getting fucking
There's nowhere to
dogpiled.
run. It is the first thing I thought, right? All Yana was pulling, don't stop the talk, don't stop the talk, don't stop the talk. God damn it. Han's dead.
All right, let us move on now.
Yeah. The suddenness and volume of her words made Ray jump back in shock. Aliana's eyes almost appeared to be burning as her face contorted in frustration. I don't know how I did that, and I don't know if I could ever do it again. That was a fluke. Was it? You seem pretty confident you could do it, man.
I mean, like, why would you even consider that as an option if you didn't think that it was possible? Like,
Yeah.
there is a large jump of I might be able to stop a fucking world-ending super laser. That's just I don't.
Like, Thor could do it because he's a fucking god. You're a mortal being who specifically said you're not a god.
He didn't
and
even
yet you did the
stop.
exact same thing that he did.
He didn't even stop the beam.
Yeah, and
He literally just opened a gate and took the brunt of it. He didn't stop it at all.
Yeah,
there's
no,
also,
like
a
he
really
almost
big
died from it. You were just mildly winded.
You've got the anime limp.
Yeah, they literally said,
There's
"Oh,
a
you got
really huge
mild
jump
plasma
between,
burns."
between all these force cheats that are canon in the movies. Like, oh, Luke suddenly uses the force for whatever reason to perfectly target a hole, or Rey downloads perfect swordsmanship from the force to, I'm going to stop the power of an entire sun that is capable of destroying 5 planets at once. I'm just gonna stop that.
I was gonna say, people had enough problem with Rey downloading all the fucking knowledge to fight fucking Kylo in the final fight. But even by this measure, that's tame.
I mean, at this point, I just think that the Force Ghost of Obi-Wan was fucking lazy as shit for not stopping the Death Star from firing the first time.
All right,
10%.
I'm moving on now.
Okay.
I gambled with billions of lives and it almost killed me. I never claimed to be all-powerful, and I hate that people think that I can solve their problems with the wave of a hand. You want me to be honest with you, Ray? This is me being honest. I'm just one woman. I can't fight a war by myself.
I'm a woman. Sorry.
I was about to make that
try.
joke. How dare you, sir?
Look, I know nothing. We already know we share a brain cell, all right?
Yeah.
You gotta be faster to catch it.
I know.
CW's flash a second ago.
Ray was at a loss. Ray was at a loss for words, unsure of what to say as Aliana continued to glare at her, her breathing heavy from just how forceful she was shouting.
What?
Man, you really like yelling at the girl that you are supposedly in love with. The Sith rubbed at her. The Sith rubbed at her eyes with her forefinger and thumb before letting out an exasperated sigh. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled, she said. It's not you I'm mad at, it's the situation. Ray quietly watched her as she seemed to come down from her explosive outburst. Aliana's eyes were bloodshot, and even with her anger, they seemed to have this almost glazed-over look to them. Just how exhausted was she? Ray suddenly felt guilty for trying to place the blame on her for Han's death, especially after she'd run herself ragged getting everyone in and out of that superweapon in the first place. As much as she was still angry, she still had to remember just how much she and the others put themselves through, and Aliana was the only one still walking around to feel the effects. She stepped closer to the Sith and wrapped her arms around her shoulder, hugging her tightly. Aliana twitched in surprise, but eagerly accepted the hug. I'm sorry, Ray said quietly. I shouldn't be blaming you. Any and all anger Aliana felt melted away as she felt Ray's embrace. She simply leaned into the other woman, mumbling thanks into her robes as she did. Ray pulled away slightly to get a better look at Aliana. The medical attention she received earlier did help with the burns that she saw all over her before, but the Sith still looked like she was on the verge of collapsing. Where was this last chapter?
I mean, no, it was offhandedly mentioned that she was like physically drained from doing the whole "I'm going to hold back a Star Killer" thing, but like
drained, as in I ran like a mini marathon drained.
Yeah. Also, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, you just casually cured the burns? Like, define light plasma burns. Are we talking, like, 1st degree, 2nd degree, or are we talking 3rd degree, which needs some serious medical attention, because your skin is sloughing off after that?
0 degree.
Okay.
Radiation? I don't know.
You need some rest, she said plainly. Come on, let's get you on the Fury. Aliana couldn't find it within herself to protest with Ray. She was able to dismiss the idea of resting earlier when it was Poe saying it. With the woman she loved, who she was still struggling to trust, who was also still struggling to trust her, such protests did not come as easily. Despite all the tension that had risen between them, the fear that was brewing inside her, Aliana wanted things to smooth over with her. Perhaps when they could talk about what happened on the Falcon. She allowed Ray to pull her arm over her shoulder and guide her back to the Fury. As they approached, Aliana saw 2V begin walking down the ramp to meet them. Oh, Lady Amorosa, 2V exclaimed in horror. You look positively ghastly.
Also, you're injured.
By the way, Reuben, where am I stopping?
Oh, there's a break. It's there's a section break coming up and then one after that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 section breaks.
Thank you. Make sure she gets a full night's sleep, 2V, Ray said, handing Aliana over to the droid, and no less. I will make it my top priority, Miss Ray, 2V said as he guided Aliana up the Fury's ramp. Aliana glanced back at Ray. She paused and seemed to rethink what she was about to say. Thank you, she said, turning her head back toward the ship. Ray caught a glimpse of her completely collapsing under 2V's support before the ramp finally closed and sealed the ship off completely.
I want it on record because I'm just not commenting as much right now. A, to get through, but also B, there is so much wrong with all of this going all the way fucking down to the start of their relationship. I'm just sick of commenting on it. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I was thinking the exact same thing too. Like, this isn't healthy.
Lightning! Oh my god, man!
Oh, Jesus Christ! Use the Force, Luke. Just reflect the blast, you pussy.
That's made. My name is Godspeed, confirmed.
Oh my god. Is that what is that? Oh, that I just saw the bit inside Luke's head where Tim and Leia kissing.
T-Rex!
Oh my god.
No.
Fucking double whammy.
I am so glad I said that sentence. Holy shit. I'm so
This
glad.
shit is why AI art should not be a thing. Alright? It prevents shit like this from being created.
God. God.
Oh, that's
There
gorgeous.
is
I'm just
Teddy
imagining
Banks,
like
the
the little airships flying around are just croutons.
Yes.
All right. But bringing it back to everything wrong with the relationship, I just want to be on record saying that Lily, you are the reason that God doesn't talk to us anymore.
Jeez. Damn.
Okay, Twy. What if we learned that like atheism was correct, but not because God never existed, but because he abandoned us sometime a long time ago, and there's effectively not been a God since because of Lily Orchard. He was just like, oh, I just fucked everything. I'm just gonna leave, and no one can blame me for this.
And on the
That's
eighth
my
day,
bad, y'all.
on the eighth day, God realized that he fucked up.
Let's end it here.
Jesus.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see. Ray stood there outside the Fury, staring when Aliana had disappeared. She barely heard the whirring of BB-8 as he rolled up beside her and looked up at her, beeping at her questioningly. She took her gaze and thoughts away from the Fury for a moment to look at BB-8. Oh, I'm all right, BB, she assured him. I just have a lot to think about. BB-8 tilted his head slightly, a series of synthetic sounds, asking her if he could help. It's all right, thanks, she replied. It's something I'll have to figure out on my own. BB-8 chirped and whined, wiggling back and forth on his ball. Yes, she told me. BB-8 whirled and beeped. She told me that too. BB-8 made a long, low, droning sound. I don't know. I have to be able to trust her again before I can even consider that. Ray shook her head. But it's nice to know, honestly. BB-8 looked back at the Fury with Ray, as if to appear as deep in thought as Ray was. He cautiously beeped at her once again. Ray felt a smile creep at the corner of her lips. Yes, you can still like her. You're not the one she lied to, she assured him. A relieved wooing came from the droid, and he cheerfully circled laps around Ray's feet. Everybody just loves Aliana.
I do hate,
Yo,
though, that
BB-8,
they do make... She still actually writes BB-8. BB-8's still fine.
Yeah.
BB-8's cute, and it's really hard to fuck up BB-8. Though I would love a more sassy element to droids, like in the future of like Star Wars in general. Just like
we need droids to share some of that hot goss.
Well, no, it's more of that beep, 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 boop, bop. And it's like, dude, you can't say that. Oh my god, you're gonna get us like arrested. It's like, that's just legitimately play.
Like, prove that the Holocaust did happen.
No,
that is actually
legitimately
one of the
never
ways
address what they say.
Your droid is sick and twisted in the head.
That is actually one of the things they do in some of the older comics with R2. It's fun. It's really funny.
Yeah, I could totally see R2 having some choice translated dialogue.
This man is selling weed on the down low.
There's a droid in Rebels called Chopper, and apparently the stuff he says
I'm
is
continuing.
Yep.
Okay.
Aliana woke at the crack of dawn. Having gone to sleep during Dakar's midday, she did the math and realized that she'd been asleep for 18 hours. She still felt drained,
Been there.
but she needed meditation for that. I know, right? At the very least, she wasn't sore and stretched out to her breaking point. She pulled herself out of her bed and pulled a robe around her body as she shuffled out of the Fury's main living space. 2V, she mumbled. Could he set up a ration pack, please? At once, my lady, he said in his usual chipper tone before making his way to the kitchen. And if I might say, it's wonderful to see you feeling better. Aliana nodded and made her way to the dining table. As she took her seat, her mind drifted back to her first meal that she and Ray shared together at this spot. She felt a smile grow on her lips at how pleasant the memory was. If she could ever get to that point with Ray again, she was fairly certain that she could die happy at that point, even if nothing more could ever come from their relationship together.
I'd be happy if you died then too.
Yeah.
Only
Also,
then?
right before that break, I was just thinking I should have started this fic with the voice that I used for Reicheru, because she's just that much of an anime Mary Sue.
Yeah, okay, but like Reicheru feels like innocent, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's like Reicheru has like sort of an innocence. I'm a first time writer making an OC, and I don't know the limits of writing and all the different rules that go into it and the boundaries of what people want to believe. No. This is intentionally a Mary Sue because that is how Lily thinks a good character is written. This feels like a malicious Mary Sue.
I
agree.
That story.
I just been thinking that it's been so long since we've had a character like that I haven't been able to reuse that voice, and this is the closest that we've ever gotten.
You can use it for Davis the next time we read a My
Character's
Fanfic.
so fun, right, guys?
Use it for Luke, just for shits and giggles.
Oh my god.
Don't you mean Siths and giggles? Ha 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 ha! This fic is melting my fucking brain. Please, let's keep going. We're
I will
almost.
Yeah,
force
we're
choke you
almost
through
done
this
here.
voice call.
2V returned with a tray of polystarch and veg meat. Simple, but Aliana wasn't in the mood to either cook or teach 2V how to cook. And in all the time that you've been together, you never taught your droid how to cook.
Also, you're a vegetarian. That explains a lot.
Oh. Thanks, she said, motioning for 2V to sit down as she took the tray. Can I make a change to your programming? 2V turned to look at Aliana. You are well within your liberties to do so, my lady, he responded. Although, might I ask what change you intend to make? First, any classified information in your databanks is to be given to Ray whenever she asks for it, Aliana said. All misdirections and cover stories are to be erased. If she asks you a question, you give an honest answer even if it would contradict me. 2V tilted his head slightly. My programming as it currently stands dictates to ask that you are absolutely certain that you wish to make this change, my lady. In my centuries of serving your family, I've come to understand the Sith's need for a certain degree of discretion. I'm absolutely certain, Aliana nodded. Ray is to have full access to your entire repository of information, and that includes how to open the crystal containers and holocron cabinet.
Okay, that's fucking massive.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your effort to woo Ray, you're like, here, have literally all of the dark secrets of the Sith, as well as any of the most sensitive information in my shit. I don't care if I've only known you 2 weeks. I want to get in your fucking pants. Like,
Dog.
Oh, what?
Raymond, this is the equivalent of finding out that you are a Nazi and just giving your GF like freaking Mein Kampf.
You know,
Well,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. This is the exact equivalent of it.
in a better fic, I could imagine this being a legitimate flaw presented, where it's just like they're so starved for thirsty.
Okay,
it's just
honestly,
like,
the way that I would approach this is like, okay, you can look at all these different things, and then Ray looks at us like, these are horrible. Why do you attune to these? And it's like, okay, that's a complicated question. Let's sit down and talk. Like it would lead to a further conversation. No, my suspicion is she's going to read some of these and be like, oh, the Sith aren't that bad. No, it's only the bad Sith that are bad, and there are good Sith who are good, like Aliana. I'm now going to make out with her rear end.
Man,
like every other character so far.
This chapter about tar and feathering is really interesting. It makes some good points here.
Based on what we saw on Starkiller Base, that
I find it.
She could use the Sith materials better than Aliana does.
I find it really weird that the way that Aliana is trying to go after Rey is basically the equivalent of giving a gift in Harvest Moon or Story of Seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, that is 100% how she views it.
Yeah. She
Well, I mean-
treats the relationship like it's a video game. You have progression. You just have automatic progression.
Yeah, you don't realize you have dialogue options too you need to match.
Yeah.
I mean,
Remember, she's
It's-
a massive
Yeah,
KOTOR
Ray is
fan.
staying stringently at Purple Heart.
It's the meme of of Mass Effect Shepard just saying, "We'll bang, okay." Also, it's not as good, but I did make a small stupid meme congratulating the members of the High Jedi Meme Council.
That's very good.
Yes. 2V was silent for a moment, save for the wiring in his head being slightly louder than usual. After a moment, the droid then nodded. Acknowledged. My programming has been updated, my lady. Miss Ray shall have access to all the information at my disposal. Thank you, Aliana smiled. The second change I want to make is that I don't want you to call me my lady or Lady Amorosa anymore. I'd rather you call me Allie. 2V was silent once again, as his processing core made the update. Acknowledge. The update has been made, Miss Allie, he replied. Thank you. Aliana smiled, finally taking a bite of her breakfast. It was stale, as ration packs typically were, but it would do.
Okay, so wait, but Allie is the term of affection that Ray used for you. So you're letting your robot call you that now, not like Aliana, just Allie, which is the only person that has called you that is Ray. So you're not getting that
Also,
now.
to
You're not being
could
called.
you like also download Ray's voice pack and just say Ali as Ray?
Yeah,
Just
and
real quick for me,
put on
just
this wig.
please?
Put on this wig and this robe. And I've given you a few pieces of equipment that'll help with your physical. I'm turning you into a sex doll. I'm sorry. It's just like she can't give up any of the pretense. It just immediately caves.
At least you recognize it, Master.
Would you like to share this with Ray as well?
May I voice? So something. Sorry.
I showed you my Sith records. Please respond.
Damn, no.
This is why he's
He's gonna kill me, bro.
This is why he's in the council.
Right. So, something I may offer just regarding this chapter in general, just like Aliana going on whole internal and external monologues about how, like, oh, it's so much pressure to have everyone think so highly of me after, like, literally one day. And just, like, it's not like they're anything has been actually asked of her. She's just like, stop. Like, oh my goodness, so much pressure when she never once shows respect for anything the First Order throws at her.
Yeah, it's like there is. Yeah, goes in the problem. There is no pressure. There's no threat. The only person that has died is Han Solo, who you very clearly could have been able to save. Aliana, you're not getting out of that, Lily. Aliana could have saved Han. Aliana should have been able to save Han. I don't know what 2V looks like. I don't know what 2V looks like either.
HK-47.
Okay, yeah. But it's like...
And I want to point out, now, she's not remotely thinking of, like, either Chewie or Leia, who have just lost one of their dearest and oldest friends.
Yeah, we didn't even get to see that scene. I guess it just happened off screen.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Fuck you too, Lily.
So, one of the biggest things that JJ was lambasted about was the fact that Chewie walks right by Leia, and Leia goes over to hug Rey after the death of Han.
Yeah.
So, Lily has just done that again.
Well, we don't know, but I presume that she did.
One would presume.
We don't know, but we definitely know.
Yeah, because let's face it, the moment should have been during these scenes.
Yes,
but that would take away from Aliana being the best
and
ever.
I guarantee you, we're not going to get to see Luke's reaction to Han dying, which was also cut from the like. God, everyone's reaction, the people that we cared about most, their reaction to Han dying was completely cut out of the movies, and I totally do not see that being any way reinforced or put back in here at this rate. I would thought we would at least see that scene here. I thought we would see the hug. We didn't see jack shit here, which just baffles me.
Give us the hug cut.
No, we got a hug. It was between Ray and Aliana. Oh.
Babe, please give me. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, no, like, oh god, everything about this. Someone said that like Lily is trying really hard to write this as romantic. It is so hilarious how successfully she writes a toxic romance without realizing she's writing a toxic romance. Like, I go back to that to what we were talking about with Blood Raining Knights and Reichuru Katsuneko Oni.
Tetsueki Neko Oni.
Yeah, look, the part 2 is going to be up tomorrow. Everyone, look forward to that. That's going to be great on the channel.
Yes, yes, it returns.
Oh, dude, you and I, Zelkami knocked it out of the fucking park. I was watching through it for time codes, and I started just watching it in earnest, and I'm just like, God, this is fucking hilarious. All right, but
where will it be posted?
It'll be on the channel. It'll be on the channel.
Oh, hey.
But yes, to my point is that very clearly Blood Raining Knights was very honest and earnest, and the writer didn't know what she was doing, and she actually did try to learn as she grew. I remember we had a whole conversation about the fact that she actually was developing as a writer as time went on.
Yeah.
Lily doesn't, and the clear difference between the two is that, like, well, Reichuru's romances were written toxically. It was very clearly just someone like, I want my character to sleep with Inuyasha, but she also is dating Denmark from Italia because I find both them sexy, and I know Denmark is the better man, and so he'll always love Reichuru no matter what. And it's like, it's got, wrapped up in these like highfalutin, just radical, dramatic feelings that a person has for their fictional characters and how they want their OC, aka themselves, to be treated in the story. Meanwhile, Liliana's is trying to be... Oh, sorry, Lily's.
No, you're right.
Together. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Liliana.
Massive Freudian slip, dog.
It was planned.
Lily's idea here is so wrapped up in that this is how like you really do write characters well. This is actually really good. It's not someone who doesn't care about someone else's opinions. It's someone who's deluded into not caring. And it's just, it shows, it bleeds through that Lily actually thinks this is healthy. What is the progression of this is healthy. And that should be very concerning to people. It's like, it's her writing everything about herself on the page.
Completely understandable. Also, fuck you, Floof. I was choking. I nearly killed myself with water.
Is that? Are we done for now?
It's perfect.
We are done. We are.
Oh, we are done.
No, we are.
Yeah.
If I might offer,
I can't believe Lily wrote a toxic relationship.
If I might offer one more thing.
Well, write a toxic relationship. Write what you know.
I was gonna say slash S.
If I might offer one more thing. Also, Ayana cannot for the life of her just take a compliment or any conversation without going, but actually.
Well, she needs to be humble, quote unquote. Which is absolutely, quote unquote, being humble is totally a Sith thing, guys. Totally.
Right, because the Sith are absolutely known for being humble people.
Lady Amorosa.
Darth Vader.
Lady Amorosa. We do Sith activities again. No, put on the Ray wig again.
If I might.
Yes!
Oh God, no.
Oh no!
I'm gonna put it out there. Arrogant Sith are more fun than humble Sith.
They are actually.
Yes.
I would love like a
Preach,
Sith that
my
is
brother,
the most
preach.
annoying kind of humble, if that's what they were going for.
Well, that too. Like she's faux humble.
That would be so fun if it was a bit that's like, no, I'm pretending to be humble. This is what good guys are like, right? Like
the shyest anime girl Sith.
That's a dynamic to take it, or the idea of like someone who starts out being like, no, please, I can't take all. Okay, well, you can give me a little bit of credit. You can like that kind of like I actually do want this out of her.
But go on.
Exactly. Like there's that energy. But no, it's literally like we're supposed to take it at face value. She actually doesn't want this attention when she has been so high on her own fucking farts this entire fucking story. It's so obnoxious.
Yeah, when she literally freaking solved the Luke map problem in 2 minutes, dog. Shut the fuck up.
You know, if this was written by a better writer, I feel like, you know how she like told 2B to like take down all the classified files. I feel like if this was written more cleverly, those files, it would be like this really elaborate ploy to get like Rey to embrace the Sith. You know, like this is like it's like the history of the Sith, sure, but it's really heavily edited to make them look like good guys. You know, like
yeah, like okay, there's ways to play that, but like I'm also gonna say like, so the thing that she does is that she actually has a habit of highlighting issues within the script, and then she solves them in such a way. I'm talking about Lily here, not Aliana, but you know, one and the same.
Right.
Lily has a good way of highlighting problems with the original script from the Force Awakens, but then she has a terrible habit of just solving it in like the most boring and honestly most problematic way possible. Oh,
yep.
How does Poe get back? Well, she catches Poe, puts him into the hospital on her ship, and then later flies him to a rebel or resistance outpost, completely defeating the purpose of the entire like travel plot to get to the resistance in the first place. Oh,
yeah.
How do we how do we solve that problem? We don't solve that problem. That problem doesn't get solved. How do we solve
the neat part?
Yeah.
How do we solve the Han problem? We don't, even though my character can stop a fucking laser beam. How do we solve the map problem? Well, we just compare star charts because no one else thought to fucking do that. It's like, no, you fix it by making the problem more complicated or you add different facets to it. You don't just throw a solution in the character's lap and say, wow, that was fucking easy.
Yeah,
This
I've decided
very
something.
Sue characters.
Yes.
I have come to a decision. Oh
yes.
Oh wait, sorry, I was interrupting. Sorry, you guys go first.
Gio, just say it.
I was gonna.
Oh, okay. So I've decided that when I write my story that parody is the power of fantasy, I'm going to use this story as a template of everything I should not do.
Exactly.
Good choice.
Just use anything by Lily as like a template of what not to do. You won't go wrong.
I was gonna say, you want life advice? Look at everything Lily has ever done in her life and do the opposite.
Also,
if I might,
one final thing for the scanning of planets and everything and comparing star charts. You can just like look at a planet and say, "Oh, this is infused with light side energy" from like a glance.
How did that's not a thing? Well, actually, no, we proved that wasn't.
Yeah, we already discussed that at length. Why that's a fucking stupid idea.
It's dumb, but okay.
Oh, I understand it now. I completely like zoned out because this entire fic is just destroying my mental capability. That and Celtic took the brain cell.
Yeah. But I'm glad to know that the Force users in this setting, this particular version of the Star Wars galaxy, they're basically just giant fucking Force radio antenna, and they can just sweep across the galaxy looking for Force sensitive planets. I'm glad they can just do that now.
I love how she just breaks the lore just because she can.
I mean, Sith space, the former Sith Empire, it was a defined, space. So it's not like these planets are hidden. At least not most of them. I mean, the Jedi hid some of them, but anyway.
It's still kind of dumb.
But
yeah.
So something a bit just something this fic generally makes me wish of was like a genuine dynamic between like a Sith and Jedi forced to work together, and like a Jedi who initially comes off as like at peace and all that, but then has to deal with the Sith's constant self-promotion that gradually gets under their skin.
Yeah, that could be. There's so many. Look, this squanders a concept. I mean, honestly, it's the perfect fan fiction to represent the sequel era of writing. It squanders a really good promise.
That's
oh my god, you're right.
Era of writing.
I don't know.
That's insulting.
Look, we have the Rise of Skywalker, man. I don't know if that's the hill you want to die on.
Oh wait, Rise of Skywalker, Sith Resurgence. There's a pattern here.
Yeah, well, and I was gonna also then follow in. We have like Mandalore season 3. We have Boba Fett. We have Ahsoka. Obi-Wan. Jesus Christ, fucking Obi-Wan might just be one of the worst things I've ever watched in my life.
Maybe replay Fallen Order out of spite.
Real quick.
Wait. Which do you hate more, Obi-Wan or Eureka 7 AO?
Ooh.
Everybody sit down. This is gonna get good.
Choose wisely.
Everyone's
Oh,
size recognition.
fuck, that's hard. Okay.
No. We need to do this properly. Now,
That's what
first,
she said.
Shop it. First, the reasons for why Kenobi are bad. Celtic, go.
Dude, we're gonna be here for a decade, all right? Wait, we can't break it down like that. Let me workshop this, guys. Let me workshop this. All right, let me see. So, Eureka 7 AO is a sequel series to an amazing mecha series that the worst element of it is a sorta little bit of a rushed ending, but otherwise it's almost peerless in how it tells its story. It is a very great self-contained story that didn't need a follow-up, but it would have been appreciated. And we actually had an okay alternate universe movie before that, even though it's not, not great and I wouldn't watch it again. It's still better than anything else that was in AO. Then AO came out and it just shit all over the original and everything else. And then you get High Evolution, which then just shit on everything else even more.
Yeah.
It's like you got bad. So you got one excellent thing as the starting point, and then everything else of it was a decline in quality going forward. Meanwhile, Star Wars has been literally not great since like half of Return of the Jedi. And it's just only been steadily uneven from there, with all the bad that comes out of the prequel era, all the bad that comes out of the Clone War era, all the bad that comes out of the sequel era. But on the flip side of that is we had the opportunity with it to actually do something really cool with Obi-Wan. It had all the potential in the world to be something really cool, an untold story that could have been really deep in several different unique ways to both the property and storytelling in general. And it was completely squandered. So the flip side of that is it also ruined like one of the few good things to come out of the prequels, which was Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan.
Yeah, people have been wanting that forever.
Oh God. Okay, so I think Obi-Wan edges out ahead of the worst thing I have ever watched in my life.
What is that?
Because I'm finishing up my thoughts here. It edges out ahead here because it ruins one of the few good things from a series that already was on shaky ground with the good things it had left over. As opposed to Eureka 7, which I can still watch Eureka 7 original in isolation and completely ignore everything after that point very comfortably, because nothing after that point has ever reached anywhere close to the original standard ever again. So
That's fair.
So I think, I think Obi-Wan edges out in terribleness, though. God, that is a hard fucking question to answer.
Man, there's a lot of edging going on here.
And of course, it's a hard question.
Yeah, let's
Oh my
blame
God,
I know for everything.
I guess one last question for me. Of all the chapters we have enjoyed so far, which would you say is your favorite and most hated? Favorite
Literally the last chapter for both.
You have to understand also, by the way, this entire fanfic is effectively just shit. You cannot like point to one piece of shit and say this one is superior to the other.
Wait, did you say One Piece?
Roxana Nava, I have in fact seen the Gendy Tarkovsky, or whatever his name is. I've seen that Clone Wars. And that one was fine. That one was actually really good.
Yeah.
Oh, the Tarkovsky one
He
is great.
says as if it's not the most peak thing in Star Wars.
Good night for me.
Real quick. Can I tell you? Hey, Raymond.
Yeah, Dreadnought, what's up?
Thank you for acknowledging that the prequels aren't as good as people have been making them out to be since the sequels came out.
I've seen I've seen people having reappraised them in light of the sequels, and I think the prequels are way better than the sequels, but I also don't think they're good. I think the Revenge of the Sith is the closest that gets to good, and it's unfortunately let down for a number of reasons. Like, I think it's the closest to like a 4 out of 10.
I think part of the problem,
it's bad, but there's gold in them there hills.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
gold there.
100%.
But then it
I
turns
think
out the gold is
But
sand, and
Raymond-
it's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah, Kai.
Raymond, I got a deep cut for you. Okay. Remember that the not so great debate that Mahler had.
What?
Which one?
Remember that?
Yeah, you're gonna have to elaborate. He's had a few of those.
Oh no.
No, with that one guy about the Last Jedi, and remember the part where Mahler was laying out, okay, what about the hypothetical, really, really bad and stupid sequel to the Last Jedi, where none of it made any sense at all. I feel like Lily's fanfic is that exact.
Nothing about Lily's fanfic makes sense.
Is the litmus test for any Star Wars sequel fan.
Lily is trying to be edge and contradictory for the sake of being edge and contradictory, while at the same time trying to say something deep. It's like she's trying to say something deep, but she's saying the wrong thing.
No. I don't know if she's even trying to say something deep, because it's not like all she's saying is, "Oh, Sith actually good," and it's like that's not really a thing.
Well,
like that's not even something she's trying to say. It's just a justification for how her character behaves.
No, I mean, it's like,
shit.
like I said earlier. It's like if I said earlier where the twist of the whole time is that Aliana has always been bad, and this whole like sign of contrition thing is like the next step in the like dark side seduction thing.
Guys, you need to understand, a 2 out of 10 is way worse than you think. Like Obi-Wan and I say Obi-Wan and AO are like 1s out of 10, where literally the rules of the universe are breaking down in the show.
You know what I really hated about
one
Obi-Wan?
literally because of fucking time travel.
Yeah, don't get started on that.
Yeah.
But like,
we still have to rewatch that at some point in order to do a rewrite.
Obi-Wan?
Okay,
No, AO.
Now that I rewatched Erica
Areka.
7, I gotta share in that pain too. I can't let y'all go through that alone. I would be a bad friend.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, AO. Okay. Also, the other point is that AO, I think there's more that we can recover from AO, whereas Obi-Wan, I'm much more just like, all right, we keep the Jawa from that one scene that was his friend. We keep that. We make him his buddy cop. Everything else gets scrapped hard.
Like,
I mean,
no.
honestly,
The Jawa never has subtitles. No one knows what he's saying. But
Yes.
Obi-Wan is reacting to him every single time. It ends up with like, oh, yeah, I'm like, Abila Gorlaki. No, we've talked about that.
Exactly,
You can't say
yes.
that anymore.
Safdie should have been the
That legitimately him just going on little adventures around Tatooine with that little guy at his side, and like him working through his trauma with Anakin, and that's where we get the Anakin cameos and the Darth Vader references, maybe learning about Darth Vader and his exploits through like news reports and that sort of thing. Like you can do so much.
But the reason they're not going to do that is because of the fact that everything has to revolve around.
You heard somebody speaking.
Oh,
Shush.
sorry.
No,
I think in Legends, Obi-Wan didn't really do much on Tatooine aside from the Asharid Het incident. If anyone knows about that.
Wait, I don't.
But one of the few things I can really praise the like newer shows for, I haven't seen too much of like Rebels or Clone Wars. The one edit I did see of Rebels at least was Ashoka, sorry, I couldn't resist, was her meditating and her like having a vision of Anakin, and he goes like, do you know what I've become? And the edit that someone made as it was slowly turning to the dark side was the first line of do you know, and then what I've become was in Vader's voice, and having a going back to Celtic's point of having a show of Kenobi just sitting down looking at a news report and something and having this like a really emotional scene where he's basically like screaming at Anakin as like a mystical force that's haunting him.
Yeah.
Just like
Okay, so just because I have the brain rot and it's a pretty good thing, I want to see effectively Obi-Wan's Silent Hill story. Like, he's going on all these little adventures, but as he's doing it, it's him working through the trauma of everything that happened during the Clone Wars, leading up to Anakin's betrayal. That's sort of what I wanted to see, is him coming face to face through maybe the Force or whatever. And what we would see over the course of it is also him evolve from Obi-Wan into Ben, and he would look more and more like Alec Guinness, and then you of course get cameos from like Liam Neeson that actually meant something.
There could just be a scene where
Zero to Hero, real quick, does this sound familiar to you, or is it
guys,
stop talking over each other, Jesus Christ.
This like a Silent Hill scene where Obi-Wan is running away from Anakin, and like there's just mirrors around it, they're talking to one another, but every time he looks into a mirror he sees himself on Mustafar, where that chance where he could have saved or killed Anakin, and other times he sees Vader.
That kind of shit.
That is actually a lot of the materials that have come out telling Obi-Wan's story. Like, that was something that I wanted to jump in on when you said, Celtic, that it was a story, Kenobi the show was a story they've never really told. It's been told several times, like, all over the place. There is the most recent comic that, like, and by recent, I mean, like, 5-10 years ago, that was under this whole new line, was actually Obi-Wan having a full-on nightmare. Even Uncle Owen straight up telling him when he comes over to the house, like, back off, stay away.
I actually don't doubt that. In fact, I suspected as much when they announced the Obi-Wan show. They did. That's not what they adapted. I don't care about the comics.
No,
because
I know.
the comics
I'm saying
have,
What I'm saying is that those stories are there for everyone that does want. Like, if you want to read those, like, they do exist. They've done these before. It's just they didn't. They tried to do it halfway in the show.
No, they didn't. Okay. They didn't. They were literally just like, what if we just have Obi-Wan fight Vader because we want to ruin the sequel, the original trilogy.
Can I bring something up real quick?
I want to round us out, so this is going to be the last thing we bring up, so you get the last floor here, Dreadnought. Make it good.
Thank you. What I mentioned earlier was the Asharid Het. Asharid Het was a Tusken Raider Jedi who survived the Jedi Purge and actually went back to Tatooine and put together like a Tusken army to like lead against the Empire, and he started raiding like all the moisture farms in the area. And when he was coming toward the Lars family home, Obi-Wan actually confronted him and basically said, "Stop it, you're falling to the dark side." And they wound up dueling each other, and Obi-Wan just straight up cuts off his arm, rips off his mask, showing his face, and just banishes him from Tatooine. And you were saying earlier you could do like a bunch of little Obi-Wan stories. That could be one of the stories, you know, like Obi-Wan could be thinking to himself, you know what, Luke doesn't really need me. He's safe where he is. I should just go. And right as he's about to, you know, get on the ship, he senses the Tuskens coming toward the farm, and he like hauls ass all the way back there.
There's several reasons I'm not finding that appealing. I'm happy they didn't go that route at the very least, but whatever. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I know we got off into the weeds, but we had a little time afterwards, so why not enjoy it a little bit? I hope you all had a fun time talking about all these different Star Wars related things, especially after the end of our god-awful fanfic. We'll pick up the rest of this chapter next week, and then we'll carry on. We've, I think, got maybe a maximum of like 5 more weeks of this fic, and maybe a minimum of like 3 more, depending how things go. So we'll see. So everyone, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you all on the flip side. Oh yeah, that's right. Check out tomorrow on the channel, Bad Fanfiction Theater, episode 2 of Blood Rainy Nights.
Yay!
Yeah.
Wait, we're doing what? Wait, we're doing a bonus?
It's a recorded one.
It's from when
years ago.
Bad Fanfiction Night used to be private years ago.
Oh.
Now we'll catch you all on the flip